Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to the Weekend Salaryman. So, after a super lengthy hiatus, I've finally brought myself to uploading regularly on YouTube again. So, I guess the question is, what or who is the Weekend Salaryman? And this is really just a concept that I came up with to reboot this channel in a sense. You know, ever since starting a new job, I've kind of realized how important the weekends are to me, and that it's so important to have something that gets you out of your rut and that gets you involved in something creative. And so even though I might be kind of classified as a salaryman, you know, the weekend salaryman is kind of a nod to the fact that my weekends are so important to me. And that's kind of the content that I'll be covering in this series or in this theme, basically going around Seoul and exploring the different neighborhoods and kind of seeing what the city has to offer. And personally for me, it's been a tough couple of years. I had to give up a lot to make this move to Seoul, and so it's just kind of, you know, getting out on the weekends has been kind of my escape, and just a time for me to indulge in the creative pursuits that I love, the chief of which is photography. You know, photography's always been kind of first and foremost one of my favorite hobbies, one of the things that I enjoy doing most. And if you follow this channel for a while, you'll be familiar kind of with my previous work around the Sony ecosystem, Sony Alpha cameras, and that was kind of really the angle that I started off on actually when I first moved to South Korea. And I guess this is a good point to also talk about, you know, the fact that I've switched systems now. So I shoot on Fuji. This is being shot on a Fuji. All the B-roll that you see in this video was shot on a Fuji. And, you know, this is probably going to be another content pillar that I touch on in this series of the Weekend Salaryman, is kind of talking about the gear that I use, because I think that's what makes documentary or documenting things fun, is also, you know, the process and kind of the equipment that you use, and that will definitely also form part of the content going forward. And I will say that owning a Fujifilm camera has definitely changed how I approach my photography, and maybe I'll also, you know, share a few photos from the photo walk that I did in Seongsu. And just to quickly sum up, I guess, is to say, as much as I loved shooting on a Sony camera, it just didn't have the experience that I was looking for, I guess. And shooting with a Fuji has really kind of changed my workflow. It's changed the way I share my work. I'm a firm believer in you know, curating your work and putting it out there for people to see, and I feel like shooting with a Fuji system has definitely accelerated that process for me, and just made things a lot more enjoyable in that sense. So in essence then, the Weekend Salaryman is really a theme of two parts. It's about my life here in Seoul, my weekends here in Seoul, the places that I go, the things that I see, and documenting that. And then also you know, talking about a content pillar that has always kind of been a main interest to me, and that is camera gear, the Fuji ecosystem now, not so much the Sony ecosystem, but basically the equipment that I use, how I use it, kind of my creative process around that. And yeah, really kind of letting the documentary or the documenting work that I do kind of speak for itself through the gear that I use. So I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to let the B-roll run and just kind of show some of the shots and the footage that I got from my time in Seongsu. Seongsu is a really kind of supposedly hip and trendy area in Seoul. You know, a lot of people call it the Brooklyn of Seoul because it's, to be honest, super gentrified and there's a lot of pretentious cafes and stuff. But it's a nice area, especially, you know, for people watching for street photography. You can get some good shots there. I honestly feel like I didn't get amazing shots, but then again, I'm super rusty and I haven't gone out to shoot street in a really long time. And also I was shooting with a newly acquired Voltrox 85mm f1.8, which is kind of a very niche focal length. Like, it's way tighter than anything I've ever shot, but it's a beautiful lens nonetheless. And I did manage to get a couple of shots that I would classify as keepers. So sit back, relax, enjoy the music, enjoy the scenes, and let's take a walk around Seongsu. So thank you very much for watching this first episode of the Weekend Salaryman. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully there's many more to come. I will be exploring different locations in and around Seoul. So please do keep following and subscribe if you are interested in this kind of content. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.